Hey everybody, good morning. Happy Friday. Thank goodness it's about time. It's been a week, hasn't it? Been a nice week though, actually. Not too bad. I can't complain about this one. Short of a couple things, but hey, you know what? It's life, I guess. This is the Friday wrap-up. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Time Radio Director Steve Brogan. Don't forget, you can watch this broadcast multiple places, tyngsboroughma.gov, on our live video on demand and streaming service, Comcast 8, Verizon 29, and at Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to chime in, join the conversation. I am all by my onesies today, as you can probably tell by my wide shot here. So I don't have a guest, but I do have a bunch of news and things we can talk about. So quite a bit. If you are interested in being my guest, feel free to come on down. You can jump in anytime and hang out with me, or you can just watch and talk on Facebook and whatnot. Grab your favorite beverage. It's going to be a long show. I'm kidding. But anyways, grab your favorite beverage. It's always nice to have a little bit of something to wet your whistle with. I generally like to have a little water or something, but yeah, we're going to hang out. We're going to talk about stuff. So what is going on in the town of Tyngsborough? Lots of things are going on, actually. There's quite a bit that has happened. There's quite a bit that is happening on all fronts, let's say. So I'm going to start with just quickly just an update. So there was the mineral oil spill over on over by Lake Muscuppick. So I just checked and asked if there was any updates on what had been going over there. Apparently, the majority of the oil actually went over to the Drake side. So hooray for Tyngsborough, I guess. That's good. But they're in the process of cleaning it up. They're going to be out there for a couple of weeks, apparently, cleaning it up. And they said just to it's mineral oil, so it's not toxic, obviously, but they do treat it as a hazardous material. However, they'll be out there, like I said, for a couple of weeks cleaning it up. You might still see sheen in some places, but they're working to clean up all that stuff, get it out of the catch basins and everywhere else that it has ended up. That mineral oil, it was like 70 some odd gallons roughly of oil. So a decent amount of stuff spilled out. But luckily it's not toxic. There's no threat to environment, drinking water, so on and so forth. So that's a good thing. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you have any questions on that, as I said this past Monday, talk to town administration. You can call them directly and get some information. There is a statement up on tyngsboroughma.gov if you want to go take a look at that. Here's the statement right here, but you can go take a look at that. It gives a little bit more of the detail of what happened and what they're doing. So I imagine as they have any further updates, if there are any, aside from what I just told you, that they will be posting that at some point. But as of now, they are cleaning it. They'll be out there for a couple of weeks. It was mineral oil, nothing toxic, and they're working on cleaning it up. And they said just don't be alarmed if you see a little bit of slick or sheen in any of the areas that were affected. There'll still be a little bit in the ground, but most of it went over to the Drake side. So luckily, Tyngsborough didn't get hit too hard on that thing. And it was a transformer, I believe, an electric transformer that was what leaked. It had a crack or something. And so the liquid leaks out. Mineral oil is what they use inside the transformers to prevent fires and all that stuff when the switches do their thing, electric stuff. So yeah, so that's somewhat good news, I guess. Also, so I'm going to go through all my news stuff here, and then we'll get to some of the other things going on around town. But also going on, so Tyngsborough PD is doing their Pink Patch program. They've got these guys that they are selling. All the officers and dispatch and all those guys have. All those folks have these patches available. They are $10. It's actually, so it's a little bit different. This was last year's patch, which is just slightly different. The bridge in the new one is pink. I can't reach the other one, though, so I'd show it to you. But otherwise, it's basically the same patch. Oh, and they put the little pink ribbon down in the bottom, down in here. So slightly different than last year's. So $10, same price as last year. And if you want to collect them, you can contact anybody over at the TPD and get your patch today. However, they are going very quickly. They only got 500. And they were in the first week. They were already out of, I think, a third of them, roughly, something like that. So they go pretty fast. So definitely get one of those if you guys are interested. And all the proceeds, of course, go to support breast cancer awareness month, which is this month. So if you want to help support breast cancer, you can do that through the Tyngsborough Police Department, which is pretty awesome. I think it's a really cool thing that they got together and did this whole thing to raise money for breast cancer awareness. So very cool stuff. So yeah, so that's going on. Also, the Tyngsborough Public Library, two things from the library. So one is the book sale, the Friends book sale, happening on the 19th of October from 8:30 to 2:30. That is the same book sale that happens twice a year every year. They do a spring and a fall. This is obviously the fall one. Boy, I wish it wasn't fall, though. I'll tell you that. I kind of wish it was spring again. So they'll have a bunch of really cool stuff: books, puzzles, CDs, DVDs, you name it. They've even got Halloween costumes for this particular book sale because of Halloween coming up. So that's really cool to see. But yeah, lots of good stuff to be had at the book sale. You can support your public. Excuse me, I'm stuttering. You can support your public library through this book sale. It helps to support all the extra programs that they're able to put on. You know, they do a lot of it out of the budget that they have that they get from the town, but they can't support all of the programs, so they do these fundraisers, if you will, to help support other programs and bring in different speakers and have all different kinds of classes and whatnot. And they bring in some really good people too. They really do have some very interesting folks who come through here who do some really interesting programs. They've had, you know, how to brew beer and like all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, anything really that runs the gamut, from Pokemon cards up to brewing beer. So just definitely a lot of really cool, interesting things. Check their website if you want to get more information, tinglib.org, and you can find their calendar with all the information of upcoming events and things like that. They have lots of great kids programs and stuff. So I can't tout the library enough. They really do an awesome job putting together programs and keeping things changing, constantly evolving. So very cool stuff. And they work within the funds that they have available. So it's pretty good stuff, pretty good program. So check that out, the 19th, October 19th, 8:30 to 2:30. That's the book sale. And then also this month is the Tyngsborough Public Library's Townwide Read. It's the first annual that they're going to do. The book is The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. They've got a number of programs and things around the story that they've brought in to kind of support the story and sort of just enhance the storyline a little bit. So they had a gentleman come in and talk about stone walls. They have can't remember them off the top of my head. I should actually bring up the slide. But yeah, they have a bunch of programs that they're doing to support basically the Clockmaker's Daughter story. So definitely check it out if you get a chance to. It's a very nice, very good story from what I'm told. I haven't read it myself, unfortunately. I haven't. Two little kids. I don't have time. So I'm sure a lot of you do. That shouldn't be an excuse, though, I guess, huh? But yeah, it's a good story from what I'm told. Here we go. I'm gonna pull up the slide, and there we go. That's the one. So they've got, let's see, there's a paranormal evening, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to like. There's a bunch of book discussions. There's some exhibits that go on, an antique clock exhibit that's happening right now, and then a photography exhibit that's going to sort of, like I say, revolve around the storyline of the book. So pretty cool stuff. Check it out. It's The Clockmaker's Daughter. They have a bunch of copies available at the library, so if you're interested in reading it, check it out. Stop into the Tyngsborough Public Library today, and you can get your copy and take part in this townwide read. So good stuff. Also coming up, let's make sure I don't miss anything here. I've had to cross off things because things have finished. October is Fire Prevention Month. I know I mentioned this on Monday too. The goal for the fire department is to educate everybody in town about obviously the importance of fire safety. I think we all kind of know that at this point. We've got the gist of it, that fire is potentially a bad thing and can obviously have risk to life and limb. However, now they've changed some of the sort of guidance as to what to do in a fire and how much time you have to get out. So the goal now is 3 minutes. So if you can get out of your house in 3 minutes, I don't know if you can see my hand. There we go. Do it like that. The goal is 3 minutes. There we go. That's how I do my 3, by the way. It's like that weird symbol. Anyways, 3 minutes to get out of your house because of the fact that we have so many articles in our home that have petroleum products in it, and it increases the temperature and the speed at which fire races through a home. Couch cushions, pillows, that kind of stuff. They all have petroleum products, basically. A lot of them do, including like the materials, the floors and stuff are treated with, in a lot of cases, some type of petroleum product or flammable products. So that aids in the speed of fire, which means you have basically 3 minutes. So statistically, they've looked, and 3 minutes is the number to get out of your house and get out safely. After that, the risk to life and limb goes up exponentially. So that's the goal. So come up with a plan how you would escape, and then practice the plan and be fluent in it, so that if in the event of something ever happening, hopefully it doesn't, but if it ever does, you'll be able to get out safely, yourself and your family and everybody else. So definitely cool. They had their open house, by the way, too, this past Saturday, and it had a really good turnout. So a lot of good education to be had over there. A lot of great fun for the kids. They have a cool little obstacle course and all these different things that they have the kids do. So a lot of fun stuff there. But yeah, that's the goal. 3 minutes for October for Fire Prevention Month. 3 minutes to get out of your house, you and your whole family, mind you, and have a plan. So that's the idea. That's what they're promoting this month. Also coming up, the Festival of Trees. So mark your calendars for this one. This is always fun, too. I love the Festival of Trees. December 5th to the 8th. It's at the usual place over at Old Town Hall. However, there is some expansion of it. Like last year, there's the Ice House, as well as a number of other things that happen around it. Check out Tyngsborough rec.com, their website. And you can get all the information. I'll post all this stuff, by the way, in the description, too. So you can just grab the link and go right to these pages. But tyngsboroughrec.com will take you to their page, their website, and you can get all the information about all the other events that are happening at Festival of Trees. If you've never been, there's obviously the festival itself with all the trees, but there's a whole bunch of other little things that Allison and the rec department have scheduled to enhance the day. You know, there's like tea parties, there's cookie decorating for kids, things like that. All different types of events, though, and they happen throughout that weekend at various times, obviously different times. So check the calendar and schedule to see what is happening and when you might want to go. But it's a lot of fun. They'll have Santa Claus there. We do the tree lighting ceremony, which is always fun. They light up the town common for the holiday season, so that's always a cool moment in the event. So definitely come out if you can make it December 5th to the 8th, and I think you'll have fun, honestly. It'll be a good time. Let's see. Board of Health. So Columbus Day is coming up. So Town Hall obviously will be closed on this coming Monday due to Columbus Day. That also delays your trash pickup by 1 day. I mentioned this on the Monday broadcast. So for future reference, for anybody who's a resident here in Tyngsborough, if your trash pickup is on Monday, and there's a Monday holiday, aside from Patriots Day, that's the only caveat to this, aside from Patriots Day, you will have a 1 day delay. So all of the other Monday holidays that come up during the year, just keep that in mind, that all of those holidays, those Monday holidays, will be a 1 day delay on your trash pickup, because Republic Waste observes all those holidays as well, except for Patriots Day. That's the only one that won't be on a Tuesday pickup for a Monday holiday. So just keep that in mind if you want to make sure you always have your trash, or you can just ask Dave Leo on Facebook. He usually answers questions about about all these trash things. I'm not sure how he became the trash czar, but it's kind of funny. Let's see. So I announced the photo contest winners, by the way. I'm going to go into that a little bit later on. I'll skip that for now. And the open mic is coming up next Friday the 18th from 7 to 9 over at Old Town Hall. Come out and join us with the musicians, and everybody comes and plays and has a good time. If you're a musician or a poet or a comedian or something to that effect, come on out as well. You can come out and perform, use it as a little test bed for your material if you'd like to do that, or just come hang out with us. Come enjoy some of the music. We have a group called Boot Scam. They come out and hang out and play their house band and fill in while we are changing out groups, changing out people. But definitely come out and hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time with it. Like I said, 7 to 9 is when it runs to. It's on Friday night. So good time to come out. If you have little ones, it's safe. You can bring them. We keep the music, everything pretty tame. But if you can't make it, you can always watch it on Facebook and on Tyngsborough TV, Comcast 8, Verizon 29, and at tyngsboroughma.gov. So check it out there as well if you want to see what's happening over at the open mic night. All right, moving on. Let's see. I'm going right through this stuff, so I'm going to get back to the photo contest. I told you that. We'll talk about that a little more, and because that finished up. And let's see, I did the oil spill. Yeah, we got that. I'm just going through all my notes, make sure I get everything here. The middle school building committee is happening Wednesday, October 16th at 6:30. So they're looking to build a new middle school. They're working on, or will be working on, a feasibility study if that gets approved at town meeting. So the meeting is on October 16th at 6:30 p.m. It's at Tyngsborough High School. They'll be giving a lot of information, I imagine. So if you have questions, concerns, all of that stuff, I would highly suggest going to this meeting on October 16th. As of yet, I don't know that it's being covered, to be honest with you, filmed. So I don't even know if this will be rebroadcast. I have some feelers out to find out what's going on, and if it will be getting covered. But as of now, I don't have anything positive on it as far as if it is going to be covered. So I would say definitely check October 16th. And if you are somebody who can't make it, let the people in administration know that should be filmed. And as soon as somebody higher up tells me that we should do it, then we'll do it. Because, I've been asking, and as of yet, I have so far a no on coverage of it. So I don't know. So October 16th, 6:30 p.m., Middle School Building Committee. Again, you're going to get probably a ton of information from that, so I would definitely attend if you do have questions, or at the very least inquire about it being filmed, and then hopefully we can get it filmed and covered. Because I think that's important, honestly. Also coming up, so lots of information here. October 20th, so Halloween's coming, and the annual Trunk or Treat event done by the Parent-Teacher Organization. trunk or treat happening over at Tyngsborough Elementary School from 4 to 5:30 on October 20th. It's a Sunday. There's still room to sign up for. Let me go check my text message here real quick. So I had information on it. There's still room to sign up for the for trunk or treat if you wanted to be a trunk and give out candy. I think it's. I don't know if he gave me a number on. Still accepting trunks for those who would like to participate and decorate their car trunk. There's cash prizes for. Excuse me, for best trunk. There we go. We can go to the PTO webpage. That's right. I pulled out the website, so we can take a look at that. If you want to get more information on trunk or treat, you can go to Tyngsborough, spelled out the long way, pto.org. I'll put that up. There you go. TyngsboroughPTO.org, and you can get all the information on the trunk or treat that's coming up. They're looking for volunteers for all of this stuff, especially for rec events, PTO events. They're definitely looking for volunteers to help out with the PTO stuff. So if you're able to, if you have a little bit of time you can spare, they would love to have you help out with some of these events, because it's always tough to get people to come out. We can have a discussion in a little bit if I don't know if Steve's still watching, but Fugazato, but we can talk about volunteership and so on in the community and how the importance of it. He works with the PTO and the rec department and all that, and they're always looking for volunteers, so he has some good insight on the volunteer issue. But October 20th, 4 to 5:30, $5 trick or treater. I'm not sure what he means. I think it's $5 per trick or treater. He didn't clarify that. Anyways, go to TyngsboroughPTO.org. You can get the information. I'm not going to try to decipher exactly what he meant on camera, so we'll figure that out later. But yeah, I'll post all the links to the website. To the description on the video of the websites. I'll post those links. There we go. Okay, it's Friday. Thank goodness. All right, all right. So let's do something different. I wanted to switch gears just for a minute. So I talked about all these guys here. Let me go to. I wanted to show you some pictures. Finally, I want to get to something interesting. At least that's interesting to me. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I brought this up with the chief last week when I had him on. I got to go and take some photos of the NEMLEC training that they do with our local officers, our local departments get together. And NEMLEC is the Northeast Massachusetts Law Enforcement Council. They comprise basically, oh man, I forget the number now, a whole bunch of cities and towns in the area. It's a big kind of conglomeration, and they all the different departments support NEMLEC, whether financially or with staff members or whatever. But they have their own units that would go out and support things. So SWAT team being one of them. So NEMLEC got together with Tyngsborough Police, and they did a active shooter sort of SWAT team-esque training over at Greater Lowell Regional Tech a couple weeks ago now. And I was able to go out and take photos. I unfortunately can't show you all of the photos. There's only a few that were approved for release, unfortunately. But the gist of it, I can kind of describe it to you a little bit as I show you some of these photos. So like I said, it was at Greater Lowell Tech. They take a section of the building, close it off to public, but it's at night too, so not too many people are in the building, short of some staff, janitors, so on, and a few other adult education folks. But they take a section of the building, and they basically stage and do different drills and whatnot as they go through. So these are just a number of the officers. You'll notice if you know any of the local Tyngsborough guys, you'll probably recognize a bunch of these faces, but they did it in two groups, so this was the second group of two groups that they had come through. Sergeant Mark Bork is the one who runs the training. He is actually one of our police officers in Tyngsborough. He runs the training along with this other gentleman. And I apologize, I forgot his name. But they run this training, and like I said, they go through basically scenarios. They work, up and down stairwells, going into rooms, all kinds of stuff like that. Where they basically just practice what they would do, how to clear a building out, how to check every room to make sure the bad guy's not hiding behind a door or so on. It's very interesting stuff. They use, they make it as realistic as they can with, they use blue guns. They're not obviously real guns, but they use a pseudo rifle so that they can practice, moving and maneuvering and doing all that stuff. This is Officer Rubino. Doing his thing. They were practicing clearing stairwells and stuff, and this is the other officer from NEMLEC who was here showing it. So unfortunately, like I said, that's basically all I was allowed to show. Unfortunately, I have dozens of other photographs, and I really am disappointed that we could only show just these few. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. So yeah, it just got to stay within the rules on this one because they don't want to really reveal too much potential tactics and things like that. Not that it's super secret squirrel stuff, but I think they just want to be careful, and also don't want to alarm the community. I think too is probably a little bit of it. So it was a cool training. It was fun to watch them. They did all these different scenarios where they were in rooms with various types of incidents, a distraught student or person, so on, with a weapon, people pretending to be dead and getting in the way, basically, littering the floor more or less. Police having to work their way around them and just do a whole bunch of things, working with multi-level buildings where you have openings. So like a mall, for example, how you would go about going through a mall and doing their operations to find an active shooter or bad guy in a mall situation where you've got levels and people could be up above and so on, or down below potentially too. Really interesting stuff. Definitely good to see. So while it can be alarming and scary even to think about, I mean, honestly, even me standing there watching and photographing this, I'm like, wow, I hope they never ever have to use this in anywhere around here, or anywhere else. Honestly, I mean, you don't want to see this happen anywhere, but interesting to see it and eye-opening, as well as like I said, kind of a bit unnerving, scary, like, wow, this is what it would really be like. And you think about the incidents that have happened, and this is what they've been doing. That said, great to see that they do the training. They do this at least once a year. I know the chief had talked about they wanted to try to do it more, but it all depends on what they can get for funding in order to have this training more often. And now, mind you, too, these guys who are doing this training, all these officers, they're not the first line of defense. I mean, actually, let me rephrase that. They would be if they're the first responder, the first persons on the scene. However, generally, like, obviously, NEMLEC would come out as well, but these guys would, run in. If they're the first one there, they're going to go in. So I guess, actually, I'm wrong. They are the first line of defense, really. They're going to run right in and do their thing and start looking for the bad guy or guys or person, whatever it is. So it's interesting. Very, very interesting to see that training happen. I was not surprised, but then, because I've seen plenty of videos of people doing trainings and things like that, but still to be like in the middle of it and actually like have it in front of you, it's interesting, very interesting stuff. So if I get the okay to release more photos, I'll definitely show them. This is basically just guys with the blue guns going in and out and doing, clearing rooms and things like that. But there is some video too, and I don't know what I'll be able to release of that. I'm going to work on it. I still have to edit it and then get approval to share that as well. And that's actually that would show more tactics than anything. So I don't know if I'll be able to release much of that, but I'll try. I'm definitely going to work on it. It's fun to shoot it. It stinks to have to hold on to some of these things, hold back on some of these things, but definitely interesting stuff, to say the least. So very cool. All right, so I want to move on from that one. So since I can't release any other photos, I wanted to go over to, so I had a young woman from town. She's a Tyngsborough High School alumni. Let me pull up my slides here of the info. And she works with the Tyngsborough High School football team. She's, like I said, she's an alumni. She graduated last year. Her brother is still on the team. Her name is Rachel Souza, and she is going to be sending in information about Tyngsborough High School football games. So sending in photos and a little bit of information as to what happened and stuff like that. So kind of a little citizen journalism, if you will. So hooray for that. Very cool. So like I said, her name's Rachel Souza, and I'm actually very excited to have her participating in this and supporting the sports stuff and sending us this information and photos. So she sent me 4 photos and a little bit of information as to what was going on. So this was the Tigers versus Nipmuc. Boy, I hope I'm saying that right. Nipmuc Regional High School. So here you go. So this is the first shot she sent. This is number 30. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the right photo. Hang on, let me get wrong photo. Here's the right photo. I'm using the wrong keyboard. There we go. All right. I got too many keyboards in front of me. Literally have 3 keyboards in front of me. Okay, so this shot, this is number 30 in the background there. He had a pickoff in the third quarter to put the Tigers ahead. Number 30 is Zach Souza, as I said. He's running from right to left there in the back of that shot. Number 52, this next image here. Oh, man, which mouse? There we go. this image here. So this is Lovis Paul, number 52, assisted by number 78, Ryan Menaker, to tackle Nipmuc for a loss. Then we've got number 74, Josh Disperzio, and others tackle again for a loss. And then the final shot that she sent us, these are great, by the way. Good shots. I wish I had more, so hopefully if Rachel's watching, she'll send in more shots. But I told her just to take it easy for the first one and send in a few, and we'll see how it goes. But these are awesome. These are really good shots. So then this final image here is a victory formation that they do, I guess, at the end of the game when they know they've got it. This is sort of that victory formation. And the final score for the game was Tigers 35, Nipmuc Regional 20. Wow, so they did a pretty good job beating them up. Yeah, it's like a Patriots game almost. And the Tigers are 4-0. So very cool to see the Tigers 4-0. And the one to finish up this story with the fact that Tyngsborough High School is having their homecoming game this weekend. So if you did not know this already, Tyngsborough High School is having their homecoming game. TyngsboroughPS.org for the full schedule and all the stuff going on in sports and everything else happening at Tyngsborough Public Schools. But this Saturday at 6 p.m. Is the homecoming game. They are playing Narragansett Regional, who's playing at Tyngsborough, and they're playing on, of course, Pierce Field over behind the high school. So if you're around in the area, go check out Tyngsborough High School for their homecoming game. I'm sure all the parents and everybody else will be out there, but if you don't have kids in the system, but you do love football, get on out there and root on your Tyngsborough Tigers in the homecoming game. There's a bunch of other games coming up too as well for homecoming. You've got a girls JV game, girls soccer game, Lowell Catholic at Tyngsborough. Got another soccer game here. It looks like it's it's again Lowell Catholic. Looks like a doubleheader for that one. Boys JV soccer as well. Quabbin Regional at Tyngsborough, and then also obviously the homecoming game, and that's the as I said, Narragansett Regional playing at Tyngsborough High School. So thank you to Rachel Souza for sending in those photos. I look forward to getting more photos from Rachel and showing off what is going on in Tyngsborough High School sports. I know it's just a little snippet. I don't do a ton of sports because I have to basically get the information from other folks. But yeah, it's going to be cool to get some more games. Now she does away games. I'm working on trying to see if we can get somebody to do home games as well. So if we can get those, so at the very least we have some away games coming in, and I can always look at the website to get information about other games. But I'm hoping that I can get another person to do the home games who can just send in a handful of photos. So citizen journalists, anybody out there, if you're interested, please let me know, and I would be happy to take photos. But that just gives you a little bit of a tease on some cool football stuff happening in town here for Tyngsborough. So very cool. All right, let me get back to, so we got that. Starting to run out of stuff here. Never out of things. All right, there was some other things. Let me just go through really quickly. I had some other things here that I wanted to mention to you. Oh, so out of the assessor, I posted this the other day and talked about it on Wednesday as well. Property value valuation values. They've done a reevaluation of all the property values. There have been some changes, so go to tyngsboroughma.gov if you want to get more information on current property values, so you can see where your valuation has changed to. Most everybody saw a very slight increase, single digit increase in terms of the property valuations. So definitely check that out. If you're a homeowner here in town, go take a look at tyngsboroughma.gov and check out the assessor's proposed fiscal year 2020 property valuation values. And again, you can get that at tyngsboroughma.gov. Also, so I did athletics. We talked about the PTO. Okay, come back to me over here for a second. I mentioned the open mic, so there you go. There's the open mic, so that's coming up on, I forgot to show the slide earlier, but that's coming up next Friday. And if there's anything you guys want to hear about, by the way, too, feel free to throw that in the comment section. If you just want to chime in and tell me how your coffee is. I have not had a sip of my coffee just yet. It's now basically lukewarm. Yeah. It's okay. It's still good. This guy's coming up. Let me show you this real quick. Another Halloween event happening. This is Sunday, October 27th. It's the 8th annual Hallows Eve 5K fun run happening over at the Lowell Elks Lodge over on Old Ferry Road in Lowell, just at the end of just down on the boulevard, just past the Lowell Water Treatment Plant there on the left side is where they're doing a 5K, $25 $15 for 18 and under. And you can register at hallowsevefunrun.com if you want to get more information about that. So that's another event happening here in town. Before I move on, I just want to remind everybody, so if you have events or anything like that that you want to tell people about, church bake sales, even yard sales, honestly, you can tell me about anything, really. If you have that kind of stuff happening or you know about any events, feel free to email that stuff to me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. You can also send it through Facebook as well if you want to do that, just through a message. I get a bunch of those through there. But yeah, if you have events coming up here in town and you want to let the community know about it, let me know. If I get it before Monday, I'll add it to the news on Monday. But yeah, if not, I'll add it at least to the Friday wrap up, and we can talk about. I'll just mention it so it gets out there to people. But send those things over to me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov, or through Facebook, and I'm always happy to put that stuff out to the community. So let's see, let me make sure I didn't miss any other slides. Maybe we'll take a break and do the weather. So I've got a gentleman from Drake-It who is doing a weather segment. This was started Wednesday. His segment rather starts the weather on Wednesday, but that said, at least you can catch up. You can see if he was right for Wednesday and Thursday, I guess. But his name's Sean Kelly. He does the Merrimack Valley weather. So I'm going to quickly play that so you can check it out. He actually does a really good job. The production quality is pretty good, I got to say. So check this out for your updated weather for throughout the week, and then we'll check National Weather Service at the end of the show, too, like I always do. But here you go.
Good afternoon. My name is Sean Kelly. I'm here with the Merrimack Valley weather updates. Here's your forecast for tonight. We're going to have a low of around 50 degrees, overcast with some rain showers moving in tonight, and a wind of 10 to 15 miles an hour. As we head into your Thursday, we're going to have a high of around 55 degrees, heavy rain, and windy too at times. Winds up to 20 miles an hour with a few gusts over that, up to 25 and even 30 miles an hour. Looking a little bit further out at your Thursday night's forecast, we're going to have a low of around 49 degrees. Rain too at times, 15 to 20 miles an hour for the wind. Looking a little bit further out at your 7-day forecast. Again, Wednesday, chance for some rain, 61 degrees. And it looks like the storm is going to stay with us all the way into Thursday, into Friday. And it looks like Saturday afternoon, chance for a shower or two. But that's really about it right now. A little bit unsettled going into next week. And then we should finally clear up next Tuesday. But that's it for now, everybody. Have a great day.
So there you go. Sean Kelly. All right. Very cool. So he does the weather. A lot of that rain didn't materialize. At least I didn't see much of it anyways. Oh, well, I guess that's fine. It's rain. It is getting cool, though. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm sure you have, actually. The chill in the air, it's got that fall feel again. Foliage is turning. Now's a good time to go hiking if you enjoy hiking. Get out into the woods and start enjoying the pretty colors, all the reds and oranges and yellows and so on. I know my way, the trees have really started to pop and change rather quickly, actually, a little too quickly for my taste. But hey, tis the season, I guess. Okay, I'm going to show you this image really quick. So we've talked about this before. The therapy dog that Officer Bonzar has brought into Tyngsborough High School. His name is George. She just posted earlier on her Instagram a picture of George in the school. How can you not love dogs? I mean, seriously, they're awesome. Dogs are there's a reason why they call him man's best friend. George is super sweet, though. He's a very, very, very good dog. And the kids love him by all accounts. Anybody I've talked to about him, it's like, when they talk about George, it's got that glowing eye, like, oh my God, they love this little guy. So he's a very cute dog and very popular and been very positive in the school. So it's helped tremendously from what I've been told with a number of specific kids who have specific issues. It helps to break down a lot of barriers and just make things easier for the kids. So that's Officer George in the school this morning over at Tyngsborough High School doing his cute dog thing. Yeah, it's really cute. He's a very cute dog. I wish he would come back in the studio. I'm actually trying to get Officer Bonzar to come back soon to bring George on. We had something set up, and then everything went haywire on us and sideways, and so he didn't get to come on that day. But he will be coming back. I promise you that much. I will get George in so you can see him in all his glory and cuteness. It's awesome. How can you not love dogs? He's really cute. So nice job by Officer Bonzar and the Tyngsborough Public Schools as well for being supportive of that whole program. All right, so I guess I can mention this. The sewer department, you know about this stuff. The sewer department's doing construction, so just keep an eye out for all the work going on Middlesex Road. There's a number of staging areas. I've seen people ask about those. Staging areas, like one just at the end of Bryant Lane. There's also another one over on Middlesex Road, Westford Road, not Middlesex Road. Westford Road, a big one there on the left as you're heading out past the police station. You'll see that. So they're basically just staging equipment, the pipes and all the stuff that they need doing that. So just watch out for closures or at least closures for a couple of hours as they go past roads and things like that and put in certain sections of pipe. But that is ongoing, so just keep that in mind. It's going to be going on for probably another year or so. So, yeah, good stuff all around there. Sewer is obviously, well, it's a good thing, that's for sure. Sewer can be a very good thing in terms of getting rid of things that we don't want. Let's just put it at that. I won't go any further on that one. Okay. So, photo contest. I talked about photo contest this past Wednesday. I wanted to give a little bit more love to the winners a bit here. So hang on, let me just pull up some stuff. So you guys all saw the photos. Hopefully everybody got to go vote. The photos will be hanging in the Tyngsborough Public Library very, very soon, coming up next month. So I have to just go and get them all framed. And then you'll be able to enjoy them as much as everybody else did. So you don't have to just stare at them on a computer screen. You can actually come see them live and in person. Very exciting stuff there, though. But we had a lot of submissions. I was very pleased with the amount of submissions. I'm trying to find my folder right now. For some reason, it's not showing up. I was very happy though with the amount of submissions that we had come in this year. Why is this not showing me stuff? And I hope that we can do this. I hope that we'll get even more in upcoming photo contests. So the idea is to get as many people as I can to get in on the photo contest, just because, the more photos we see, the more interesting different takes you see on different parts of the town and stuff, or places in town you might never see without somebody going and taking a photograph of that. A lot of people take pictures of the bridge for obvious reasons. Really cool, big landmark, obvious. But I've seen all kinds of really interesting stuff come through that has been very, very cool stuff, like lots of really, really nice photos. So why is my folder missing now? It's Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday, but man, some days. Yeah, I'm just trying to get to my folder here. Sorry. So I've enjoyed putting this contest together, but that's where I was going with this. I've enjoyed putting this contest together. It's been a lot of fun seeing different things in town. Like I say, stuff that you just never really kind of expect to see. Which is always cool. It was so our winner was that beautiful bridge shot, and I'm going to bring up the Facebook as well so we can show that through there. But the winner was that really beautiful shot of the Tyngsborough Bridge. You saw this guy right here, so that was very impressive. And the actual person who took that photograph is Diana Mines. She's submitted before in the contest. She always does a nice job with her photos, but that was Diana Mines who did that photo. So amazing shot, very impressive. Obviously it's the bridge again, but that doesn't matter. To be honest, like, you could take the bridge 100 different ways. The last time around was that incredible sunset, orange, red sky, like just unreal shot. Wow. I actually used that as my desktop screensaver. Or background, excuse me, because wow, that was a cool shot, and that was the bridge. So it was just somebody taking a shot of the bridge. But the point is you can take pictures of anything, and they can look really cool. We've seen some pretty cool stuff like frosts on a window, things like that. I've had some really impressive shots. The other winner the one that I chose was the shot of. Oh man, I lost it. Oh, hang on. Yeah, let me cut back here for a second. Let's switch over to. So this was the shot that I chose as the winner of the contest, and I'm going to get you the name. There we go. And so the person who took the shot, this is the Director's Choice Award. So the first shot was chosen by Facebook. This shot was chosen by me as the Director's Choice Award. The shot was done by Brian Fedderson, who's actually one of our local firefighters. He's also a aspiring photographer as well. He does some really beautiful shots, actually. If you're friends with him on Facebook, I'm sure you've seen tons of his shots, but he does a really great job. I just really enjoyed this photograph. I love the colors. I love the scenery, the setup of this with the little boy walking away down the long path, and it just draws your eye right down the middle of the shot to the end there. But I thought it was a cool shot. I enjoyed it, and that's generally when I pick a Director's Choice Award. I'm not looking for the most technically perfect. I'm not looking for the most, I guess the most perfect Mona Lisa type image. I'm looking for something that moves me, and this shot moved me. So this is the one that I enjoyed the most. Hopefully it moved you guys as well. Hopefully all of the shots in the photo contest moved all of you, but this is the one I liked the most out of all those. So this is your Director's Choice. So again, this is Brian Feddersen for the Director's Choice Award, and Diana Mines was the winner of the Facebook Award. So if you're both watching, stay tuned for an email you'll get in the very near future about your prize and about coming to see the photo in the hanging in the library. So it was cool. Good contest. I really enjoyed this one. And I look forward to the next one. So we'll do another one in the spring. So if you are a budding photographer, even if all you have is one of these little guys, you can do photos and you enter the contest. I'll be completely honest with you. The photos that come out of these things, whether it's an iPhone or whatever it is, whatever device you use, are pretty darn good. They can definitely hold their own in a lot of places, a lot of ways, against some of the most expensive DSLR type cameras. So, don't shy away from entering the contest if you don't have a high end or really nice camera or anything like that. Seriously. Use your cell phone, whatever camera you have available. It does not matter the quality. It's what's in the image more is what's important to the contest than the actual quality of the photo, quality of the camera that it was taken on. So definitely join the contest. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time with it. I know the staff like seeing all the photos and stuff like that. So and I do as well. And then it gives you get a little life out of it after still, even because we take all these photos that come from the photo contest and we use them in some of the town promotional materials. They end up on town meeting guidebooks. I know I've seen people talk about that. They were super happy about seeing their photo used here and there in different places. So we try to use these things so that we can show off some of the beautiful photography that you all send in, and also show off the beauty of the town, which is generally what these photos do. So it's always nice to see that happen as well. So it gives it a little extra life for you guys for your photos after the fact. Even winners don't always. Sometimes it's not even the winner rather that ends up in the guidebooks or in anything else like that. It's just shots people like, and they just use it for different literature and stuff here in the town. So it doesn't just have to be the winners that get out there. It's all of the photos that get looked at. So I put those all together in a big Google Drive folder and make them available to the staff for all their flyers and whatnot, so they can use them. And of course, they give credit obviously in the photo to whoever took the photo. So there you go. So cool stuff. That just about does it. I've kind of, at this point, run out of things to talk about. Let me just quickly remind everybody. So you can watch this broadcast, tyngsboroughma.gov, Comcast 8, Verizon 29 here in the town of Tyngsborough, Facebook, YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, obviously you can join the conversation, say whatever you will, and ask questions and so on. And I'll be happy to entertain whatever you have to say. There's always some interesting things happening in Tyngsborough. I know there's been some developments in PEG that I don't want to talk on just yet. I'm hesitant just because there's still some things up in the air that we're trying to get some information on. But there have been some developments there. So as soon as I get a little more firm details on where we stand, I'll talk about that more at length. But yeah, so that's been interesting. But yeah, there's always things going on. So it's funny because I saw there was a post last night on Facebook. And by the way, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the support from the community and stuff. It's really nice to know that this stuff that I'm doing is actually helping in some way, shape, or form, giving information. I'm not kidding when I say that this really is the only source of media that will give you such a macro look at your own community and the things happening. Yes, you have things like the Lowell Sun, the Eagle Tribune, stuff like that, but they're usually in on the big stuff, and that's pretty much it. The little smaller things, are often not reported because they don't sell papers. They're not splashy or whatever. So that's partly what I am here for, to help with, to do. It's kind of a task I've taken on onto myself. but yeah, trying to just let you guys know what's going on in your community, keep you informed, at least of the of as much as I can. I mean, I'm only one person with a very small part-time staff, but I do the best I can, at least to keep you abreast of what's going on in town. If something urgent comes up, I'll let you know, or if specific items come up, first parish meeting house, things like that. If you want to, see little tours and stuff, I'm always happy to do those kind of things. I actually really enjoy doing those things because they're fun. And they get me out from behind my desk, what desk I have. That's always cool too. But I enjoy doing that stuff, so that will continue with that. We'll keep doing all of that stuff, as well as the other part of what my job is to promote the value of what PEG Access is. We've hopefully you by now, if you've watched any of my broadcasts, you know what public access is, or at least what it can do. All of this stuff that I do is all supported by public access, and the whole point of public access is to allow public access to the airwaves. So by public, I mean you guys, everybody out there, all you folks at home, or wherever you're watching from, to allow you public access to the airwaves, whether it be through TV and now through social media and all that stuff too, which we've worked really hard. I've worked really hard at getting this stuff integrated so that social media is part of it, because I'll be honest with you, TV has will probably always be around as we know it anyways, but social media has taken up a very large market share of where people get their information from. So we've worked hard to incorporate all the social media aspects, Facebook, YouTube, little bits on Instagram, Twitter, to get information out to you. We try to use all of those avenues, even standard telephone calls and things like that, like the town uses reverse 911, smart 911, to alert residents of issues in town as well. But we do the best we can to keep this stuff accessible, as accessible as possible to it. But the point is that you folks are what public access is. So if you want to produce, or rather, if you want to talk about a specific subject, we will facilitate that. We'll allow space and time and training so that you can do that if you have something you want to talk about. So that's the point of public access. If you look at other communities, we all do the same thing basically, with some variations obviously, but the idea, like I said, is to allow the community to get in and be able to say their mind, speak their piece on whatever subject it is they want to, without censorship either. I mean, well, swearing and things like that, obviously, that you can't do that, but without the worry of censorship, like nobody can shut you down. Basically, it's your free speech. So that's what we try to allow for, or try to help with rather, so that you can get whatever your message is out and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. So that's the point of public access. If you're ever interested, contact me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughmaid.gov. You can send me a message through Facebook too on that one, and just inquire, find some time and do some training, and which is minimal, by the way, because I'll help you with most of it, short of sitting on the camera for you. But yeah, that's what we want to see people do. I've been trying to engage folks through the citizen journalism piece, which I think can be a huge component of it, because not everybody has the time to come to a show and sit down in front of a camera, and or the they might not be brave enough, let's say. They might be scared to sit in front of a camera. I've had a number of people who are like, yeah, that'd be fun, and then you try to get them in front of the camera and they're like, no, it's not happening. So so there's that too. So I'm totally sensitive to that, no problem. But the citizen journalism thing's cool, because you can send in photos, send in a little write-up about whatever, send in a short video clip of an incident, something like that. I love to see those kind of things, and I'll incorporate that into news broadcasts or Friday wrap-ups or anything like that. So definitely love to do anything that gets you folks involved at home, or again, wherever you're watching from. Gets everybody involved and gets the information out to the community. So whatever that subject matter may be. So that's the point of public access, and it's all supported through your franchise fees that you guys pay for, you folks pay for on your cable bills. If you look at your cable bill, whether it's Comcast or Verizon, doesn't matter. There is a line item on there for franchise fees, and that money goes directly to the town, which goes directly to my department, allocated through town meeting, of course, to support what I'm doing. So take advantage of it. It's like your Tyngsborough Public Library. It's the same kind of idea, except it's all the media stuff, all the media aspect. We have, studio things available to folks. If you want to be able to do a show, we have cameras, video cameras, still cameras, GoPros, you name it, all kinds of stuff. Fun tech, sound system stuff. If you're doing a party or something like that, and you want to, powered speaker, all kinds of things that are available to the public to use through PEG. I do my best to promote that. Hopefully, I've done enough of that. I know I should do more. I will do more. Just promoting that. I'm actually working on some stuff to help promote that even better through some literature. But just know that this is here for you if you're interested. Whether you are just a passive watcher, which is totally fine, or you're an active user, it's open to anybody and everybody who is out there. And you don't have to be a Comcast or Verizon subscriber, mind you. With the internet, it's changed everything. So it really has changed everything. You don't have to be a cable TV subscriber. However, so I want to pose this. I'll leave this as sort of my final wrap up thing that I'll talk about today. But how many of you actually still have cable TV? I'm curious. Comcast, Verizon, Dish Network. Are you just streaming? Cord cutters. What do you do? How do you consume your media? How do you get your media? What's the way that you get it? Because there's lots of ways to get it nowadays. But there's also cost associated with a lot of these things, and I know that comes into a major consideration with everybody. To be honest, none of us want to waste money, throw money away. But I'm just curious to know what folks look at, because the more people who will say cord cut, the smaller amount, the lower amount that PEG access gets in every community. It doesn't matter what community. There's no additional dollars there. It's just what comes in through those franchise fees. So I'm always curious to know how people are getting their information. Are you watching TV? Are you watching, do you have cable TV, or do you have just streaming, or so on? Myself, my wife and I cut the cord almost 2 years ago now. Actually, yeah, 2 years ago this month. It's because it's last month, rather. Excuse me. 2 years ago, the end of last month, we cut the cord, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked back since. But I get my media from multiple different places, whether it's from online websites, BBC and things like that, or other news outlets, conglomerations, like a Yahoo News kind of thing, where they take a bunch of stuff and they put it all together. Places like that, I'll see things. Facebook, a lot of it comes through that way. I'm not a huge user on Twitter, but I see stuff there as well. And Instagram, I don't really feel much of a news source, but even still, I'm just curious where everybody does get their information from. So that's about all I got. I'm going to wrap up with, I'm just going to show you the National Weather Service forecast, and Saturday is supposed to be pretty decent. Looks like just in the morning you get a chance of rain, but that homecoming game at 6 o'clock is going to be good weather, hopefully. High 57, low of 46. So not too bad. A little chilly, but bring a little hot cocoa or some hot apple cider or something like that, and I'm sure it will help keep you warm through the evening. So it's gonna be a good day. Get your special thermal mug there that keeps the liquid hot for like 7 days or whatever it is. Like one of those Yeti mugs that keeps hot coffee hot for like days. Anyways, get out there, enjoy the homecoming game. Don't forget to check all of our pages if you haven't liked them already. And by the way, I apologize if you get multiple of our posts popping up in your streams. I know that can be kind of annoying. I do it because not everybody's on every page, so it's one of these like devil in the details, or rather, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, I have to post it everywhere because I want to make sure it reaches everybody on all the different pages. But if you're not, I apologize. I don't mind if you unlike or something like that, unfollow a page. I totally understand. I get it, because you don't want to see a gajillion posts from me a couple times a day or a couple times a week even sometimes. But anyways, point is, go like our pages. There's a town page, Tyngsborough TV's Facebook page. A bunch of the other departments have their pages as well. Tyngsborough Police, Tyngsborough Fire, Conservation, not Conservation, Board of Health, and a number of other pages in town. You can check those all out on Facebook. You can also follow us on YouTube as well there. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. The more people that do that with the Facebook posts and the YouTube posts, YouTube videos, the more people will see that. It'll pop up in people's news feeds because it's been interacted with. So the more people that do that, that definitely helps to keep this information flowing out to people. I like to make sure this reaches as many people as I can, as much as TV possibly can. Same thing for all the social media stuff. So if you haven't already, go check out all those pages. And yeah, enjoy your weekend, guys. It's going to be beautiful for the most part. A little cool, but you know what? It's fall. It's a nice time of year. Get out, maybe go for a hike, and enjoy some of your town trails too. So, all right, folks, have a great day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I know I'm going to. Don't forget, Town Hall's closed on Monday, Columbus Day, and trash pickup's delayed one day. So your trash pickup will be on Tuesday. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I'll see you next time. Bye.